Welcome back. So we'll be starting the newspaper review with The Nation. Stand up, angry Obasanjo orders Oyo Monarchs at event. Chicago Varsity releases president's academic records. Transcripts show president scored A grade in main subjects. Tinubu names Cardoso CBN governor in major shakeup. Usoro, Datijo, Ikeazo, Bello nominated as deputy governors. Cautious optimism as stakeholders set agenda for new team. Kano governor fires commissioner after death threat to tribunal judges. Court dismisses APC's case against Enugu governor. Inflation hit 25.8% in August, says MBS. Nigeria's public debt stock rises to 87.38 trillion in quarter 2, 2023. Prophet impregnates friend's wife in Ondo. How my kidney disappeared after operation for appendicitis. Just housewife. Prophet, Biko, who has that story?
It's me.
Just knew it.
Exactly. Oh, that's the kind of story.
I knew Damola was going to pick that story.
Oh my God. So give us.
Hey, prophet impregnate friend's wife in Ondo. Now the matter we see they settle like this.
Wow.
So this pastor, Prophet Oluwaseun Akinobi, he asked for help. He needed shelter from his friend, this Mr. Tumbosu. And Mr. Tumbosu sheltered him and allowed him to use his living room as his church and for those people who come there to seek for spiritual help. Before we knew what was happening, Prophet had already snatched his friend's wife and said that God told him that the wife was destined for him from above since they existed in the life before.
Wow.
And to top it all, this man then got another apartment for the wife outside. He put her there, impregnated her. Then the husband was going there to wash plates, wash clothes, take care of baby. The woman's husband, though. So this one, it has gone beyond ordinary eyes. So neighbors, friends of Mr. Tumbosu are screaming and shouting that this one is beyond us. They've even taken the matter to the police station. They're even telling the man to vacate that sitting room because it doesn't look like he's doing it with, ordinary eyes.
Wow.
He has taken the wife. He has refused to leave the man's house. He's still using it as a church. So now the matter we see, they settle like this.
Okay, I'm going to pause you there. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we continue the newspaper reviews. Stay with us. We are starting with The Nation, and Damola was giving us a story.
Yes, I was gisting you about the prophet that impregnated his wife in Ondo. So this is a story that happened between Mr. Tumbosu and his childhood friend, Prophet Oluwaseun Akinobi. Mr. Tumbosu took Prophet in when he was homeless, and he was using his sitting room as his church. He was receiving people there, giving them, performing miracles on them. In the course of that, he impregnated his friend's wife. That's Mr. Tumbosu's wife. His host's wife, in fact, perfect. Then the prophet then decided to take the woman out of the house. He went to rent another apartment for her. And that was after they had discovered that the woman was pregnant. He took her out. And the neighbors were telling Mr. Tumbosu, this is what is happening, what's going on with you? Because they realized that Mr. Tumbosu was even still going to the other house to clean, to cook, to take care of the baby. And when they were trying to advise him to open his mind to see what was going on, he said God has ordained it to be like that. That the prophet said that his wife was given to him, that they married them from above. Wow. So the woman was destined for him.
For the prophet.
Exactly. Oh. So the neighbor, the man's friend, that is Mr. Tumbosu's brother, they are all clamoring for justice. They've taken the matter to the police station. They are trying to settle the matter, trying to evict this man because even after perpetrating that evil, he's still using the man's house as his church. So now the matter we see they settle like this.
Wow. Any other story?
Yeah.
I have a story on page 3. Alleged court refuses to grant bail to accountant. So it says The Federal High Court in Lagos yesterday decided to grant bail to an accountant, Augustina Ayinola, who is standing trial on alleged fraud involving 1.07 billion. Her and her mom alone. So Justice Akintola turned down the bail applications on the grounds that she was a flight risk. So it turns out that between the years 2017 and 2021, they have this firm called Patricia Resources Limited, and they were into purchasing consumables. Almost all the clients who dealt with them at that time have gone to court, taking them to court to say it was a promise, you know, this forex, it will come in 1 month, it will come in 2 years. Now, so the matter entered 1.07 billion. And right now, she's been held, remanded at a correctional center, as well as her mom, her aged mom. They refused to grant them bail. They refused to allow their lawyers petition, you know, give different things. Because I don't know how, it's still a character issue, but it's shocking. We always hear a person at the company, maybe the accountant, the MD. This one is a family business.
Yeah, so it's a family fraudulent business. So be your story.
So I have the story about organ harvesting in the north. And so we've seen a couple of news upcoming in the dailies where people have been complaining of organ harvesting, especially in the north, right? And so this particular story is about Mr. Kehinde Kamal. That's his family that made the news public, saying that his wife's kidney was missing. And so in 2018, his wife was complaining of tummy ache. And so they had a family doctor, and then they just went to see her. Next thing, she found out that they said it was appendix. She did a surgery, paid 80,000 naira. And so even after that surgery, she was still feeling pains. And so she went back again. The doctor said, the doctor's name is Dr. Noah Kekere in the north. And so she paid another 60,000. They did the surgery again. But the man was literally giving her pain relievers. You feel relief for a few days, go back again. And so he wanted to collect some money again. The next thing, the husband said that no, let's go and get a second opinion from the University of Just Teaching Hospital. And by the time they got there, they found out that her kidney was actually missing. Yes. So the woman said she had never done any surgery before. She's a mother of 4, but all her deliveries were natural birth. So where would the kidney be missing from? And so they traced it back to this family doctor, Dr. Noah Kekere. And so investigations went on, and they found out that this doctor is actually not a member of the Nigerian Medical Association in the state. And so the NMA had disowned him, saying that they don't know about him and all that. But guess what?
Has it been
the neighbors around have testified to the fact that anytime they go to his hospital, they find healing, they get solutions to their problem. Guess the highlight of the investigation, the one that the man studied economics.
Hey! Father Lord God in heaven.
Wow.
So the man is currently in the police custody.
What a talented economist.
As in,
medical economist.
Over the years, family doctor.
Scary.
Oh my goodness.
Let's move
So
on.
his name is Dr. Noah Kekere. And the name of the hospital is Muna Clinic
No,
and
that
Maternity,
hospital should be shut down.
located in Nashanu community in the Just North local government area.
No, it should be shut down. That's an illegal building up
And
there.
everybody should just take caution.
I have one more story. A laborer, Sunday Clement, beheaded a farmer, Taye Olatoye, and he's been remanded to prison custody by an Akure Chief Magistrate Court. Sunday killed this 30-year-old victim while they were going to the farm, and he was immediately arrested and handed over to the police. So according to the story, this young man, Sunday Clement, said he took meth with a combination of marijuana on that particular day. And they were walking past each other by the farm area, and something just entered him and told him he should walk back. So he walked back, and the thing told him to cut off that young man's head. He doesn't know him. They greeted each other when they passed. No relationship, no quarrel, nothing. And he listened to the thing that told him, cut off the man's head. And then he realized himself. So in his appeal, he said that probably because of the combination of the meth and the marijuana in the hot sun was what affected him, that he actually heard a voice telling him what to do, that immediately he realized after he had done it, that something was wrong with him. But the magistrate said, we're not going to have that.
Exactly.
That is not an
Drugs.
excuse. We have told people to stop taking drugs. They don't listen. Just a painful one. Let's move on now to the Punch. Tinubu names Cardozo as Emefiele's replacement. Fate of acting governor, deputies uncertain. UK hikes students' visa to 476,667. Raises fee for visitors. CGN constitutes Supreme Court panel next week as PDP LP file appeal on Tuesday. PDP NEC member wants Ariwola out of panel. Obi Atiku Tinubu retain 88 lawyers. Tribunal sacks 6 APC, 8 LP lawmakers. PDP loses 11 National Assembly seats. Pressure mounts on rice farmers as CBN massive loan repayment deadline nears. My mom saved me from committing suicide, and Puti content creator. I'm devastated losing wife to pregnancy complications after spending 5.8 million, businessman. Okay, what stories do we have here? Who's taking my mom saved me from committing suicide? Who has that? And who has the UK hike student visa?
I have the my mom saved me from committing suicide. This is the inspiring story of a 24-year-old amputee. Her name is Mary Osabohen. She's a graduate of mass communication from the Lagos State Polytechnic, and she's now a content creator. She said that she lost her arm due to a malformation in the early stage of her life. So after trying to save the forearm, she had to opt for an amputation. And as she grew older, she felt, because they had to take her from one hospital to another, trying to salvage, that arm. Then she got so frustrated. She said she felt like she was a witch that was intentionally given to her parents to disturb them and drain them financially. So, which was why she wanted to take her life. But then her mom stepped in at the right time. So she said that she has gone on to accept her story, and that is why she's putting her story out there to inspire other people living with disabilities. She's married, she has kids, and she's saying that she's been able to balance her life as a mom, a mother, and a content creator, because as a content creator, she's able to bring in revenue into the family, and then they can live a good life. And she also pointed out that, which is very important, she said that our society should, create more facilities for people living with disabilities. You go to a lot of facilities, a lot of buildings, they do not have access, roads for people living with disabilities. They struggle to climb the staircase and all of that. And then she also said that we should try and sensitize children in school, because some children see her and start crying. There's some run away. So we should start including in schools that disability is not a death sentence, and so that these children can learn to accept them, because she feels some type of way when children cry when they see her. Yeah, but it's inspiring that she's using her story, to push a narrative out there.
Okay.
I have the UK hike student visa. And so, starting from the 4th of October, the UK government has said that they would increase the price of their visas. So the UK visiting visa, which was £15 before, would now be £115. And that is a 667% increase. And we know the current exchange rate. Even if it was the same price, we know that we wouldn't have been paying the same thing. And then student visa from £127 to £490, which is a 286% increase. And the government has said, the UK government has said that this increase would enable it to pay for vital services and allow more funding to be prioritized for public sector pay rise. So we see that immigrants are the ones funding a larger chunk of, the expenses of those countries. And remember, it was mentioned that this won't take effect until the 4th of October. So that's just like putting the information out there and to sensitize the populace. And also, all visas have been increased. All visas, yes, all. and it will be taking effect on the 4th of
October next year. Any other story in the Punch? Or we should move. Okay, let's go to the Sun. Nigerians spend 517 billion on beer in 6 months. Tinubu nominates Cardoso as CBN governor. Inflation rises to 25.80% in August, says MBS. Shock waves in APC, PDP, LP over tribunal judgment. We are disturbed cases are decided based on pre-election matters, main opposition party. Our victories being withdrawn through backdoor opposition party. We respect judiciary, but we appeal where we lose, ruling party. Kanu commissioner issues death threat to tribunal judges. Why we may exhume Mobat's body, please. He was never happy for a day, late artist's wife. Auto accidents claim 8 lives in Anambra, Ekiti. Oti, Kalu condemned killing of LP chieftain in Abia. So I have the story of Mobat. The Nigerian police force said it may exhume the body of the late singer, Ilerioluwa Aloba, popularly known as Mobat, if the need arises. This also followed the various versions of the events that led to his death in Lagos on Tuesday. We do not have the actual story of what killed him. Some people say ear infection. Other people said he was touched where he went to perform at Ikorodu and all of that. So because of the controversy, the police is saying that they will likely may need to exhume his body, that it's not late for that. And they are calling on the public to bring whatever information that they have to, to help with the investigation and conclude the case. I just wish them the best, and I wish that anybody who is responsible for what has happened to this young man be brought to book. Yeah.
I've been so sleepless. I've had sleepless nights for the last 4 days.
Wow. Over this issue?
Yes. I can't just
stand
from it. Well, he used to live in my compound. So Naira Marley used to have...
studio?
Not a studio, a house in my compound. So it's a mini estate. So there are about 6 semi-detached duplexes there. So he had one that he had rented. So he comes there with all these boys, and I used to see him just sit at the balcony, quiet, just, try to rap, all those things, freestyle his songs. And I just can't put it together. Exactly. Every time I step out of my balcony and I look at that balcony, it's like I'm seeing him there. Like, oh my God.
That's a bit close to home. So what other stories do we have in the Sun?
So Tinubu nominates Cardoso as CBN governor, names 4 deputies. And so amidst the ongoing investigation into the activities of the CBN, the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has nominated Dr. Olayemi Michael Cardoso to serve as the new governor of the Apex Bank for a term of 5 years. And this is in line with the CBN Act that says that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has the authority to appoint the governor and 4 deputy governors, subject to a confirmation by the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So he's putting forward this nomination, and he has the hopes that these nominations will be approved. The 4 deputy governors include Mrs. M.M. Nana Usoro, Mr. Mohammed Sani Abdullahi Jatito, Mr. Philip Ikeazo, and Dr. Bala M. Bello. So we look forward to their approvals if they are able to qualify.
I like this story. Cardoso? He used to be the former MD in
Citibank. Yeah, I knew I had.
Yeah. So I just love the fact that young smart guys are showing up for this position.
Yeah, technocrats as well. Yeah. So any other story before we move on? Okay, so let's move on now to the Tribune. Tinubu appoints Yemi Cardoso as CBN governor. Nominations open for 2023 Obafemi Awolowo Leadership Prize. 7 other ex-patients found missing kidneys, many more to go for tests. Community leaders meet today on the matter. Democracy must not breed poverty and insecurity, Obasanjo. Makinde says Alaafin's tool, not for the highest bidder, inaugurates Oyo-Iseyin Road. We have no plan to move NMPCL headquarters to Lagos, Kiari. I grabbed my father's neck, strangled him, and cut his private parts. 20-year-old murder suspect. Reverend Father says bandits' bullets failed to penetrate Catholic priest's body in Kaduna. Bullets felt like ice cream on his skin. I have that story. Reverend Father at the Catholic Seminary, Kafanchan Diocese in Kaduna State, George Bade, disclosed that about 5 bandits lost their lives when they tried successfully to kill a priest during an attack in which a parishioner was killed and the seminary set ablaze. So according to the story, they said these people came in. So these priests was suspecting that the person who brought the bandits to the house knew is someone probably from the church, because the person knew the right places to move in. And so they came in, they started shooting. The bullets were falling off his body. It wasn't touching him. And they kept shooting. And they were worried. They were upset that the bullet wasn't touching him. And one of them now said, in the name of Jesus, we are going to kill you today. And he replied back, in the name of Jesus, which Jesus are you calling? Is it the Jesus I'm worshiping or another Jesus that you're calling? And so they spoke to themselves in the Hausa language, saying, let's go, this is not a human being.
Wow.
You know, and they left. However, the bullet had touched one of the reverend fathers who died. Yeah. So after they left, they had to do a head count, how many of us are here? And then they realized that one of them had died. Yeah. And he said he wasn't wearing any outfits. Probably he would have thought maybe somebody jazzed this outfit for him. He was in his boxers when they came in, you know, and the bullets were touching him. He felt like it was ice cream. It was a miraculous story. And yes, I sort of liked how it ended. But those bandits came back to the house and set it ablaze. You know, they were really upset that they couldn't kill him. They couldn't get him. So they set it ablaze, hoping that it's well. Any stories in the Tribune?
Yes, I have the Obafemi Awolowo Prize for Leadership story.
Let's take that so we can...
So the Obafemi Awolowo Prize for Leadership is an idea instituted by the Obafemi Awolowo Foundation on the basis of, I think, transformational leadership and good governance. So Chief Obafemi Awolowo is Nigerian and Pan-African. So this story talks about the history of everything Chief Obafemi Awolowo stood for, his involvement in the pre-colonial era, and the fact that he was relevant in federal service, and also a very strong educationist that brought good governance to the West Premier then, and also Nigeria. And so for me, what stood out in this story are the values that they're looking for. It's not just for you to say, I have served in this capacity. And the fact that they're looking at leadership not from a position of title, but from a position of values, intrinsic values. Yeah, so the nominations are out and anybody can apply. I hope to apply.
Nice.
Yeah, I hope to apply.
All right.